All right, guys. So while we're delayed, get this situated to go. I'm going to do a very light squeezing warm up, and then I'm going to drop the weight, go way heavier, and pound out some hamstrings. So let's get warmed up. All right. Straight into it. Oh yeah, a few more of those. One more of those. That's good. Ooh. Go. All right, let's move on. All right, as I've stated on the channel a handful of times now, I personally think deadlifts after hamstring curls, I feel phenomenally. I feel them just as much as stiff-legged deadlifts, which are, primarily to target hamstrings. But all of that being said, that's the wrong hand. All that being said, what I'm actually going to do today is a mechanical drop set, which is why I have a belt on and straps. Even though it's not a bunch of weight, the plan is to take the stiff-legged deadlifts as close to failure as I can, and then go straight into, without putting down the weight or anything, just changing the mechanics of the movement, going straight into traditional deadlifts, basically being able to give my hamstrings more support, because now my lower back and my glutes are even more involved than they already are in a stiff-legged, because they are still slightly involved in a stiff-legged, believe it or not. Stiff-legged just takes them out more and focuses more on the hamstrings. So use that as a way to cheat the weight for a few more reps by changing the mechanics of the movement and being able to get more reps in. And I do personally believe that this will be a fantastic freaking exercise and superset, mechanical superset, to follow the hamstring curls. That is absolutely going to cook my hamstrings. Oh yeah. That's a really good mechanical superset, or drop set, whatever you want to call it. I think technically it's a mechanical superset because we're supersetting stiff-legged with traditional. That being said, a few more of those. One or two more. We'll see. I forget. All right, let's move on. That was good. All right, well, if you've watched the channel for any amount of time, you know what's about to go down. Whew, get it set up for some single leg hamstring curls. All that being said, we're going to do a few sets of these. I think we're going to do the old silver plate loaded, or not plate loaded, sorry. The old silver pin loaded leg press. We'll do the higher leg setup for targeting more hamstrings. Then we'll go back to that actual lying hamstring curl machine. And we'll go heavy and just go balls to the wall until I can't do anymore. I don't give a crap how many sets it takes. I don't care if it's 2, I don't care if it's 7. But go balls to the wall, completely demolish hamstrings. And then actually, we're going to hop on the calf raise machine and finish calf raises because your boy's an idiot. And I don't think we did any calf raises last week, which it was a quad focus, not full. Today was intended to be the full, but I could tell from how my knees were feeling that I would have benefited more from just going hamstring focused. But calves need some love. So little farmer John's going to give them some hay. We'll take care of our calves. Whew. All right. All right. Let me lower that a little bit so it's actually on the end of my foot, where it's more comfortable. Oh yeah. All right. Do another set of those. Oh. Oh. All right. Let's move on to that leg press. You know, it's funny as I've gotten older, and some issues have started to reveal themselves or to prevail, like with my arthritis in my knees. This machine has gone from one of my least favorite leg presses, one of my least favorite leg machines in general, to my favorite at this gym in particular, because it feels really good. This and the hamstring curl machine both feel phenomenal compared to most other things in this gym, because everything else seemingly hurts my knees, especially that old leg press that doubles as a hack squat machine. And it's funny because obviously last leg day we put 515 on it. It's hard to keep track because we don't actually know how much the sled weighs, and this gym has hundreds, and on the leg press we had the hundreds and then 445s, right? I want to say yes. So it gets hard to, per side, not altogether. It was either 3 or 4 per side plus the hundreds. So I don't know. It gets hard to keep track on that leg press, but I was able to go heavy, so it's hard to believe like, oh, you don't egg that leg press. I used to love it. I used to be able to max out. I have a video of me maxing out. Maybe I'll put it here if I still have it. Should be saved somewhere in the old cloud. It's not actually on my phone anymore, but it's an old video before the knees were given out. Oh, all right. Higher foot placement. More hamstring focus. I would say the feet placement is too close for both top and bottom to really get good hamstring engagement, because in a perfect world, you're going to go wider and higher up for hamstring. Obviously, this is still a very narrow foot placement, but there's nowhere else to go with your feet. As you can see, there's just those 2 small squares. So, but pick the top option. Get a little more hamstring activation. Yeah. You noticed what I'm doing there. There's something I need to work on. I'm blowing out the air on the negative and then taking in air on the eccentric. Because when on a leg press, on any other press, your stomach can get in the way. And so by letting out that air and making sure there's nothing in there, outside of yes, I had a pre-workout meal. I had protein oats this morning with some fruit in it. And then for lunch, I had ground deer burger and rice. And then I have ground deer burger, literally just with seasoning and sugar-free barbecue sauce in it, that I dehydrated into jerky to take me on the trip that I'm going on today. But, to get out what you can that might cause your stomach to protrude more so you can get in deeper. And then basically, once you get to the bottom, you gotta hold your breath and then breathe in as you lift. Obviously, the notion and the typical agreed upon way of lifting is breathe in on the way down, out on the way up. But again, this is the only leg press, where your stomach will get in the way. So you actually have to inverse your breathing. I don't know if you've ever heard that. I don't remember who I heard it from, but I never thought about it before. And I've always had an issue, especially back when I was 400 pounds, of, man, my stomach's protruding in the way of getting a good set of leg press done. And so it did kind of limit my range of motion, where it's like, could I have possibly gotten deeper? More than likely. But could I because of my stomach? No. So it's just something to be conscious of, especially if you're a bigger person, guys. But everyone in general, you can get deeper in a leg press, especially one like this, where I'm practically folded in half the whole time. But just something to keep in mind. I have you strong enough, so we'll just get into the next set. Go. Whew. Oh man. Here's the thing. With this leg press, it's hard to go heavy because it's just a very heavy leg press already. I think I only have 4 or 5 of its plates, pinned in. And it is like significantly more than heavy enough for my hamstrings. But just that angle that it moves. Very weird. It is what brand is it? It is a Universal Fitness, which is a brand I don't think I've ever heard of. And this is one of the only Universal Fitness pieces of equipment I've ever seen, whether it be in person, at the multiple gyms I've bounced around to in my time gymming. It's officially been over 8 years. It was 8 years on November 1st, because I started when I was 18. But whether it be in person or watching other fitness influencers watching even like older stuff, like Pumping Iron and Stay Hungry and Generation Iron, and all these like documentaries or almost mockumentaries, because honestly none of them were actual documentaries, they were movies. But I've never heard of Universal Fitness, which makes me wonder if it's like an older brand that went out of business. I have no proof of this. I haven't done any research. It's just me talking because I had the realization staring at the sticker on the machine that I've never heard of. And it's the only Universal Fitness piece of equipment in the gym. So, anyways, enough yapping. Let's get into this last set of leg press. All right. Get into those heavy hamstring curls. Now, I'm gonna keep it a $150 with you. I'm not going to move the camera between sets. I will cut the break between sets, but I'm gonna hit a set till failure, lay here and recover, and hit the next set. I'm not ruining the intensity, trying to figure out the next spot to push the camera. So, if you guys find yourself going, that was all the same set, the camera never moved. No. There will be cuts in between. It's not me replaying the same set. I can promise you that. I'm going to do this to failure and probably end with a drop set. I have no idea how many sets it's going to be, but we'll see. But we're going to take this to failure. All right. Ooh. All right. Ooh. Get into some calf raises. I don't know how many sets I'll do, but what I do know, we'll try to control it pretty much the whole time. Get a few faster, more pumpish cheat reps in at the end, and then hold it for up to 10 seconds before racking. So, and we'll do a few sets of that. Again, kind of same philosophy as the last set. I'm not gonna get up and move the camera around. We're gonna get this in and call it a day. Maybe one set, might be two, might be 10. I don't know. It won't be 10. We're not doing CrossFit, but whew. So just like that, nice and controlled. A few more riding cowboy style reps, and then holding it for 10 seconds. And I have found that isometric hold at the end has been very beneficial to going up in strength on calf raises and building my calves. That's something I started doing about a year and a half ago, and I've kind of got out of habit of doing it as we've done calves less, because I used to do calves every leg day, but I personally don't think I need any more calves. I just need to maintain. And so I've kind of gotten out of habit of doing that, but it was for years, at least 2 years, if not like a year and a half, but it was my dedicated way of doing calves. And at one point I'd worked up to using free plates on this machine for like 15 to 20. Obviously, I've lost some strength, but I also switch how I switch legs because of my knees. So that's just an unfortunate part of my knees kind of getting worse over the years. Obviously, this is placed right above my knees. So sometimes these kind of calf raise machines do cause discomfort in my knees if I'm having like an uber bad knee day, where it feels like they're gonna pop out from having like a heavy weight on this machine. Today they feel great, so no concern at all. Plus, I have it like super far back. I can't do that on every calf raise machine. Like, still those calf raise machine, I can barely get it over my legs. So, but a few more sets just like that. All right. Well, I gotta be where I'm getting before 4 because we leave at 4. So this will be the last set because it's 3:30. But this has been a phenomenal hamstring workout. So. Oh, oh. All right. All right. Well, I'll see you guys in the car. All right. Well, as a wise man once said, holy guacamole, or something like that. Terrible sense of humor and weird sayings aside, that was a really good leg workout. Really good hamstring focused leg workout. I will say, I genuinely wish I could have done more with that mechanical superset of stiff-legged deadlifts into traditional deadlifts, but despite putting on the belt to kind of help with my lower back, when we did our last back and by day, we finished the back portion by using the back extension machine, and I did max it out and go balls to the wall, taking every set to failure. So once I switched over from stiff-legged over to traditional to give my hamstring some help, my lower back did get pumped very quickly, which did play into how many reps I could do comfortably. Before it was like, I gotta put this down. But that being said, if you've never fought to do that, because I've been preaching for a while now, doing traditional deadlifts following hamstring curls with a lighter weight, and they are just as good, if not better, in my opinion, than stiff-legged deadlifts for your hamstrings, because you already have that mind-muscle connection going once you've used the hamstring curl machine. So it's a little easier to connect with the muscle during that movement. And you can just push it further, in my opinion, than you can a stiff-legged deadlift. That being said, that's kind of the best of both worlds where, I'm following the hamstring curl with a stiff-legged deadlift, being a more hamstring-focused variation of the deadlift. And then when I can no longer do a strict stiff-legged deadlift, I'm able to bring the glutes, the lower back, even some abdomen in your knees, because you are bending your knees now instead of trying to keep a stiff leg. And I was able to turn that into a really, really good way to get more out of the stiff-legged deadlift, in my opinion. And that was just a really, really good, really efficient way of using those exercises, to the point that might be from now on how I do stiff-legged deadlifts, is I will just do a mechanical drop set, because a traditional deadlift is basically cheat reps of a stiff-legged deadlift, in my opinion, compared to what an actual stiff-legged deadlift is. But that was a phenomenal hamstring workout. If you've never done that mechanical drop set, I came up with it on the way into the gym. I was thinking about doing stiff-legged deadlifts instead of traditional, And then it kind of occurred to me, why not both? If I can do a mechanical drop set of taking the more complicated, more strict version of a deadlift, and then mechanically superset it into a traditional deadlift, I can get more out of it in terms of what my hamstrings is going to get out. So I'm happy with it. I think you guys should try it. Please, by all means, if you're going to use deadlifts on leg day, whether it be stiff-legged or traditional, do them after your hamstring curls. I will stand by this. Light weight deadlifts after hamstring curls is perfect for hamstrings on a leg day. Heavy deadlifts with intentionally trying to target your lower back, that put those on back day. But I'm going to stick by deadlifts are a really good leg exercise following hamstring curls. Fantastic. Love them. Love them. I used to hate deadlifts down to my core, where we rarely, if ever, did them, which is the reason that 365 is my max. I haven't maxed out in probably 8 months to a year, but I know the last time I did max out is 385. It may not even be that anymore, but that's not a very good deadlift for someone of my weight and stature, and for someone who's been gymming for almost a decade now. You know, because as a lot of people like to point out to me, I should have a fantastic bench and a fantastic deadlift, because the range of motion does not have to be as great. I can see that it's a green light. Can we go? Sorry, I'm 3 cars behind the one waiting on the right to change, and it changed a whole minute before anyone budged. But it's like, so I have, overall, I'm shorter and closer to the ground, which means that I do not have to move the deadlift as much, which is valid. And then, especially on bench, I have shorter arms, which means I have to travel a shorter distance to get it to my chest and back up. And then if I go wider, I can lessen the range of motion even more. But I've never been one for powerlifting or focusing on strength. I've always been hyper focused on bodybuilding. And so my strength has not gone up significantly fast. It has gone up over the years. I mean, when I say I started with like the 30-pound dumbbells on a dumbbell bench, and I started with like the bar and a 10 each side on barbell flat bench, and then you guys witnessed like 2 chest days ago, I benched 225. I don't care if it was a swing shot or not. I'm being completely transparent with you when I say there's a reason I own my own swing shot, the blue one that I've used in videos before. It's because Cuba's gym, the one I was just at, has that gray swing shot I used for my Ham 225, but it doesn't fit me right, and it's torn almost all the way up the sleeves, so it does nothing. The only thing it really does for me is like a placebo effect of, I feel like maybe my elbows are a little more stabilized by having it wrapped around my elbows, and I feel more explosive coming out the bottom. And maybe there is, because it's not completely torn, it's not useless. There's a smidge of that elasticity that it's supposed to, help you get up out of the bottom. It's still not completely useless. It's not broken. But there's a reason I bought my blue one. One, my blue one's bigger, so it can cover more of my arm, so I feel way more secure if my elbows are supported. I don't have like elbow wraps or elbow brace sleeves or anything. I just use my swing shot if I'm going to use anything for benching. But some people like to argue, I know a guy at Cube's gym that argues that the swing shot adds hundreds of pounds to your bench. I have not experienced that, ever. I think the most I've been able to add to my bench while using the swing shot is 10 pounds, or like 2 to 3 more reps of the same weight. So, that being said, maybe there's an argument to be made that without the swing shot, I wouldn't have gotten to 225. But I would like to argue that it was a spur of the moment decision to go for a PR at the end, like one of the second to last chest exercise of a chest day. Our triceps are fatigued, our chests are worn out already, and for some reason, me and Brandon both looked at each other and went, "Oh yeah, it's PR time. Oh yeah, it's all coming together," and went for a PR. I will say, he got 185 easy. Shocked the daylights out of me. I should have turned the camera on for him and then sent him the video. Didn't even cross my mind. I ended filming my set and then got behind him to spot him. But I will vouch to the day I die, he got 185. In fact, he got so easy that he was comfortable enough to go for a second one. And I think he could have gotten it. But I think it would have looked like my 225 did. And the moment he felt that resistance, instead of like what you see me do, where I braced against the bench so hard my hamstring started cramping, and my leg was shaking as I struggled to get up to 225 at the very end of that rep. The moment he felt that kind of resistance, I think he thought, nope, I'm going to fail, and just let me take it. He just let it start to come down on him, and they let me take it. And I will never sit there and yell at him to get it, because I never want to see him get injured, because I can tell from lifting with him for so many years, the moment he feels like there's too much resistance and he has doubt, he lets it go and just waits for me to spot. So I think I'm going to give it to him. He had to. There's not a doubt in my mind, if he didn't psych himself out, that there was a second rep in that tank. That being said, I will vouch for him. He got 185. I got 225. Both with swing shots. Take that as you will. So I think something we're going to do is we're going to start once in a while testing out our PRs just for the heck of it. And either they will or they won't be on the channel. It just depends. Because that was very spur of the moment. If we ever actually intentionally go into a workout, like this workout, I'm feeling good, we're going to go for a PR. We're probably going to go straight to the flat bench. Well, not straight to the flat bench. We're probably going to get some resistant bands, do some stretching, do some rotator cuff work, go to the flat bench, work up in weight, hit a PR, and then get into the actual chest workout. So I don't know if I really want to film, I hit a few reps with 135, put 10 on, hit 1 rep, put another 10 on, hit 1 rep, put 25 on, hit 1 rep, put 35 on, hit 1 rep, 2 plates, go for the PR. I don't know if I really want to subject you guys to all of that, plus the length of a traditional Jeremy Swire style workout. But all that being said, there's a likelihood that will start being something we do once in a while on chest day, just for fun. But today was a great leg workout. I have no complaints. And tomorrow we'll be back in Bai. We'll see what it looks like. We'll see if I have a gym partner or not. Brandon made it sound like he was going to skip, but that was like 2 days ago when we talked, and then he ended up just skipping the past 3 workouts instead. So I don't know if he's still going to hold himself to skipping back in Bai Day for no reason, unless his back's just hurting. I will say I'm having a little bit of lower back discomfort, but I'm going to chalk that up to, again, last back in Bai Day, going balls to the wall on the lower back extension and just being sore in the lower back. It's like, I don't think it's like, a tendon or a ligament or my spine. It is the muscle. And I just went super hard. And then obviously I'm feeling it right now because I just did the deadlifts. All that being said, tomorrow's back in Bai Day. Looking forward to it. It'll be at Cuba's gym. We probably won't be back up at Lala's gym for a while because of everything going on with Dad. I'm probably going to be house sitting much longer. I might have to make the choice of, do I move back in with Mom and Dad because Dad's going to need a 24-hour care. It's a lot in the personal life side of things, but we're going to stick to the diet. We're going to stick to the workout regimen. We're going to up the cardio. We're going to get our steps in and we are going to chug along on this journey to 160 and get down to where we need to be. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. As you've seen earlier in the video, Harder Than Last Time supplements Black Friday sale is just a few days away, November 24th and 25th. On those 2 days only, if you use my code JS15, you will not only save my normal 15% off your order, but you will receive a free gift, a free item off the website with your order. And it doesn't matter what you spend. But if you spend over $100, it will be a more expensive item. So for example, maybe you order under $100, it might be a sampler pack of protein bars. Maybe it's a bottle of GO2 Max or G-Test or G-Focus, something on the cheaper side. And maybe if you spend over $100, you might get some free Turk, some free GO2 Max, something more on the expensive side of the items. That was how it was explained to me. That $99 and under, less expensive gift, but still a free gift in your order. 100 up, more expensive. But I've seen no point really differentiating that. At the end of the day, if you buy something off the site, no matter what, you get my 15% off and you receive a free gift. So, all of that being said, merch is in the description as well. It is on sale. I lowered all the prices. And TikTok and Instagram are in the link in the description. If you like what I post on YouTube Shorts, maybe you found the channel via YouTube Shorts, go ahead and take a look over at the Instagram and the TikTok, because that content originated from there first and then was posted on YouTube Shorts later. And on top of that, obviously Instagram gets live updates and stuff like that, and I post polls for you guys to vote on and other things along those lines. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Please continue to have my dad in your thoughts and prayers. He's in a lot of pain from my understanding. But all of that being said, love and appreciate you guys. Tomorrow is back and buy day, and I'll see you then.